Hi, I'm Delegate Patrick Hope, and welcome back to my Week 3 edition of the 2016 Virginia General Assembly Update. It's very fitting this Tuesday was Groundhog Day, as several pieces of legislation were rejected that get defeated year after year. On the badly needed redistricting front, Republicans on a House subcommittee scrapped a series of bills aimed at nonpartisan redistricting. One bill that was defeated included legislation that would have set nonpartisan criteria for the drawing of the General Assembly and congressional districts, including respect for political boundaries, contiguity, compactness, and communities of interest. Another bill would have allowed voters to participate in a referendum asking if they'd like to implement a nonpartisan redistricting commission. Another bill would have created the Virginia Interim Redistricting Commission. That panel would have had the duty of drawing fair lines when district borders in Virginia were found to be unconstitutional. Unfortunately, all these bills were defeated. Continuing with more bad news were several measures to expand the rights of gay, lesbian, and transgender Virginians were all shelved. Even worse, legislative measures are advancing in the House to require that use of school restrooms be based on anatomical features, not gender identity, and to prohibit Virginia localities from banning discrimination based on sexual orientation. One of these bills that were defeated would require public school restrooms, locker rooms, and shower rooms to be restricted to males or females on the basis of their biological sex, which would be determined by a student's birth certificate and his or her anatomical features at birth. Still another bill would have barred cities, counties, and local school boards from prohibiting discrimination on any basis other than race, color, religion, sex, pregnancy, childbirth, or related medical conditions, national origin, age, marital status, or disability. Meanwhile, a House subcommittee tabled several other bills dealing with sexual orientation and gender identity. They will be referred to what's called the Virginia Code Commission, which supervises the codification of state laws for a study. One of them was my bill to prohibit healthcare providers and counselors from treating anyone under age 18 with so-called conversion therapy, which seeks to change a person's sexual orientation or gender identity. Conversion therapy is based on the false assumption that homosexuality is a mental disorder or a sin, that there is no on-off switch to sexual orientation, and any attempts to change one's sexual preference is impossible. Even the medical community is in complete agreement. There is evidence that conversion therapy does not work, and some alarming evidence that it also causes psychological harm. Finally, a quick note about a budget amendment I presented. This week I presented to the Appropriations Committee language to expand Medicaid in Virginia. In addition, it also seeks out ways to make reforms to Virginia's healthcare system by opting out of the Affordable Care Act. Taking advantage of a section of the Affordable Care Act, Virginia could seek approval from HHS to take a closer look at mandates to businesses and health insurance plans in an effort to ease regulatory burdens. In addition, we would also be able to discuss expanding coverage to 400,000 Virginians. Now, this is a compromise proposal that would grant Virginians the authority to make regulatory and insurance improvements to the Affordable Care Act right here in Virginia, but also expand access and coverage to the poorest of Virginians. I'm hopeful that we can find common ground and find a Virginia way to do the right thing. Well, next week I'll join you right back here to talk about a big healthcare debate shaping up that could improve your access to more providers. We'll also talk about the status of the bipartisan gun safety bill that's working its way through the legislature, and finally a bill that will impact your commute on I-66 through Arlington. That's all for this week. We'll see you back here next week. In the meantime, please let me know if I can ever be of service to you and your family. I can be reached in Richmond at area code 804-698-1147, or come to my website at hopeforvirginia.org. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here next week.